Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Yasteen, the investment director here at Banyan Hill Publishing, and we have Paul Mampilly, the editor of our newsletter Profits Unlimited, on the line via Skype. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Jeff. Great to chat with you.
You know, you have a bold standing prediction about the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You see it hitting the 50,000 mark in the not too distant future. What's behind your forecast?
Well, Jeff, if you go back to 1982, you'd see that the Dow Jones was at 1,000. And then you go back to that time, and I've done incredible research on this, which is that there were two commonalities to that time. One was the emergence of this technology, personal computing. And the second was the emergence of the baby boomer generation. And this combination of this large technological development and the coming of age of the baby boomer generation and their spending habits and consumption driven by increasing income, that's what stimulated the greatest bull market in American history. 1982 to 2000, if you put $10,000 into the market in 1982, I believe we've done the research, you'd have $14 million today. You'd have $14 million at the end of that bull market in 2000. So incredible amounts of money can be made in fairly short periods of time. And that really even doesn't do justice to how much money was made. There were incredible winners. Microsoft was up something like 60,000%. Cisco was up 55,000%. Even simpler companies like Home Depot were up 45,000%. So it's that combination of a technological development that can be used across companies and at homes and all across the economy. And second, the coming of age of a very large generation that's big enough and where their spending habits and consumption habits are big enough to move the economy. And that's really what's driving my Dow 50,000 forecast. But really, Dow 50,000 to me is just the beginning. I expect the Dow to go much higher than that.
Well, you've identified two key megatrends driving this forecast: the Internet of Things and the rise of the millennial generation?
That's correct. Those are the two big megatrends of our time. So in the way that I look at it, we're at 1982 today, and we've got the same two things going on, where we've got this technology, the Internet of Things, which has wide applicability all through the economy, and that's going to increase productivity, going to increase profits across the economy. And then we have this 92 million strong generation of Americans called millennials, and they are just rising to their peak earnings power and income power. And they're starting to really change the shape of our economy the same way the baby boomers did.
Paul, we all hear a lot of contrasting predictions on the internet. Some believe that the U.S. stock market is bound to crash. Why are you right and the others wrong?
Jeff, if you go back and you Google this, you'll go back and you'll find that in, I believe it was 1980, Business Week ran a cover that said the end of equities. And really, it was spectacularly mistimed. In fact, you didn't want to, that was one of the perfect moments to start buying stocks. And if you had started buying stocks, you'd been a tiny bit early, but it was a tremendous time. And that's because there were so many bad things that had happened in the past that were affecting the way people were looking at the future. And that's where we are today. We've just gone through a horrible crash in 2008. We've come through this very polarizing election. There's trouble, whether it be ISIS in the Middle East, Russia. There are so many things, negative things for people to focus on. And that's affecting the way that we're looking at the future. But that, I believe, is largely in the past. The Internet of Things is about the future. The Internet of Things is going to create a productivity revolution in everything that we do.
Paul, thanks for talking with us. My guest is Paul Mampilly, editor of Profits Unlimited.